Howdy guys, lovely to see you all again. Happy New Year to you all. Today we're going to be looking at the delicious solo from Alone by Bullet For My Valentine. It is a doozy, but it is quite delicious. Let's take a look. Alright guys, as usual, Bullet For My Valentine are in drop C tuning, which goes C, G, C, F, A, D. So get yourself in tune and we'll get started. Alright guys, let's have a look at the opening shred lick at the start of this solo. I'm going to start from 14 of the 6th string and play 14, 16, 18. And then I'm going to play 12, 14, 16 twice on the 5th. So we're going to go next bit. I'm also going to play 12, 14, 16 twice on the 4th string as well. So we should have sort of 5 triplets so far. Next bit is just straight up the scale. So what I'm doing here is I'm playing 13, 14, 16 on the 3rd string. The same shape but upper fret on the 2nd string, which would be 14, 15, 17. And then 14, 16, 17 on the 1st string. So all together. Hopefully that's all making sense. Then from the next point, we go like this. I want to just vibrato that 16 on the 1st string. And then I'm going to hit it again. And then hammer 17 of the 1st. Okay, let's have a look what we've got thus far. And then we'll add the next chunk to it. Okay, then I work into this phrase. What I've got here is sort of a double bend on 19 of the 1st string. At the top of that, I want to bring it back down, pull off to 17, and then just play 19 on the 1st string again as a regular note. After that, we work into the tapping sequence, which is pretty easy. What I do here is I'll just sort of flick the string with my tapping finger. I'm going to play 14, 17 on my left hand. And then I'm going to tap 21 of the 1st string. I'm just going to do those 3 notes 4 times. Obviously with a little bit more distortion, this will carry. The next group that I had was 12, 16, and then 19 with the tapping finger. And once again with that, I'm doing 4 groups of that. And then I'm going to do 4 groups of 10, 14 with a 17 tap. And then I'm going to go back to the one we had in the middle, which was 12, 16, 19 again. Now I think it's actually impossible to finish that one off and get to the shred one. So you can sort of do like 3.5-ish and then work your way to the shred run at the start of section 2. Let's work through that tapping idea and then we'll try the whole section from the start. And then we can do it even slower with some tabs. Here we go. All right, let's go right back to the start of the section now. One more time with some tabs. Alright guys, so before we get into the second section, there's a bit of an interesting pattern that happens with this little scale run. So what I want to do is just go over the scale shape, which isn't exactly what's in the song itself. So we're just going to learn the scale shape and then add the cheeky pattern that goes with it. So we're going to be essentially using a 3-note per string F sharp Aeolian shape there. So I'm starting from 9 of the 5th and playing 9, 11, 12, same on the 4th. And then I'm going to play 9, 11, 13 on the 3rd string, and then 10, 12, 14 on the 2nd and the 1st string, which is going to give us this. Now that we've got that shape, we can add this pattern to it. Anyway, we'll go through that a little bit slower, but you can see how it's a very, very repetitive pattern across that scale shape. So I'm going to go like this to start. What I have there is a group of 6 notes. I'm playing 9, 11, 12 again, and then jumping to 9 of the 4th. So that was from the 5th to the 4th string, and then I'm going to play 12, 11 on the 5th, and that's going to be 2 triplets. Then the next thing we do to finish that off, so we're almost going to have sort of 4 triplets per little shred group. So I was just playing 9, 11, 12, ascending up the scale on the 5th and the 4th string. So this is what we should have thus far of the shred run. Now the next thing I do is very, very similar. I'm going to start on the 4th string this time, and I'm going to play 9, 11, 12, and then jump to 9 of the 3rd, and then backtrack that 12, 11 on the 4th, and then just ascend up the scale again for the next 6 notes, which is playing 9, 11, 12 on the 4th, and 9, 11, 13 on the 3rd. So altogether, this is what we should have. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do, nice and predictable, I'm going to play 9, 11, 13 on the 3rd string, jump to 10 of the 2nd, and then play 13 to 11 on the 3rd string. From that point, the next 6 notes are just ascending up the scale, which is playing 9, 11, 13 on the 3rd, and 10, 12, 14 on the 2nd. So all together. Okay, and then the last group I do, nice and obvious. I'm playing 10, 12, 14 on the 2nd and jumping to 10 of the 1st, then backtracking that 14, 12. And then from that point, I just have 6 ascending notes, which is playing 10, 12, 14 on the 2nd and the 1st. Let's have a look at that whole run thus far, and then we'll add the rest of the solo after that. Hopefully that's all making sense. Then I work into this phrase. This is just working through little triplets here. I'm playing 12, 14, 16 twice on the 1st string. I'm just working up the scale diatonically. 14, 16, 17 twice after that. And then 16, 17, 19 twice. At the end of that, that's the whole solo. So let's take this slowly. I'm going to bend 19 up to full tone on the 1st string. And then I want to hit it again at the bottom. At the end of that, I'm doing a hammer-on pull-off, going 17, 19, 17 on the 1st, and then jumping to 19 of the 2nd. Altogether, that's going to sound like this. At the end of that, I'm going to play 17 to 20, and that 20 rings out into the next part of the song. And it also has a cheeky harmony behind it as well. And that's pretty much all of the 2nd section. So let's go through it slowly, and then we'll do it again even slower with some tabs. One more time with some tabs. And that was the solo to Alone by Bullet For My Valentine. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And please click the links in the description box to my Facebook fan page. Also have a Patreon in that description box. And if you guys could check out my Udemy Modes course, that is also rocking. And I will have some more courses coming later this year as well. Anyway, take care guys. I'll see you all soon.